Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
How do you pronounce your name, Bugra?
Bura.
Bura. Oh,
Yeah,
did I pronounce it right? Bura?
you did. Yeah.
I want to make sure because the spelling was B-U-G. So I was like, oh, maybe I'm going to mess this name up.
Yeah, it's a Turkish G. It's silent.
Wait, I'm pretty sure my name is the same to you too.
Is it kosher?
It's Kashyap, but everybody just like if everybody in America messes it up.
Yeah, typical.
So, did you go over the questions for each slide?
I did.
All right, they're basic questions. It's just that the idea is to just share the knowledge we have had. You know what we've done.
Yeah.
All right, so you joined using panelist link, right?
What was that?
I sent you a panelist link, so you probably joined using that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to wait for Muhammad and Muhammad Sharif and Farooq if he can join. They can join. I've never been to Thousand Tales.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I'm a really big foodie, and it's surprising I've never been to. My wife was like, I've been.
Bro,
I was like, how's that fair?
you have to check us out. Be my guest. Like, let me know.
No, no,
We have some delicious food. We do some like great shows, presentation. We have awesome food and then dessert as well. If you're a dessert
oh,
guy.
yeah. Every Thursday we go with my friends to like it's a six friends that we go at different places. Different
Nice.
places every Thursday. Thursday or Friday, depending on when our wives allow us.
So, and the bosses let you guys, right?
Exactly. Whenever we are allowed to be free, you know. Uh,
Oh, what area are you in? What area are you from?
I live in Aurora. Originally, I'm from Pakistan.
Okay, very nice.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah, we have our customer base is very diverse. A lot of Desi, Middle Eastern, Turkish, European, even just regular Americans. So,
oh, cool. Assalamu alaikum, brother Farooq.
Wa alaikum assalam. How's it
Are
going,
you
brother?
are you in Dallas or are you in Chicago?
I'm in Dallas, brother.
Man, you're not coming back.
I am. Inshallah, once this is up and running, then I'll be back.
Oh, so, all right. Maybe we will come to your Dallas store.
Inshallah, definitely more welcome here, bro.
That's good. Uh, so one of the things that we've learned is to leave if you can have the camera on, that would be great. If you
Oh yeah,
cannot, that's cool too. No worries.
yeah, I'll turn mine on.
I don't think Sharif replied to me, so I don't think he's joining. I'm going to share the presentation.
It's saying
Yeah.
can't turn on the camera because of the host.
Oh, did I turn it off for you? Oh, that's not fair. All right, let me reset the settings. Oh, I can live stream too. Why is it not? All right, I have to figure out why. How that. Search Google. Compartment, Zoom meeting. Okay. Thank you, Google. All right. Can- So, um, um, oh, That was easy. Here, you should be able to do it now.
Let's see. Yep, we are good.
All right, cool. Man, that place looks nice.
Yeah. I just got done.
All right, cool. It's really nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
So my only brother who didn't go to Lombard and went to Dallas.
Yeah, I decided to go outside.
All right, it looks like everything works good, so let me share the slide so I know that's working. This is the first time you're using Figma slides.
Brother, Burger Life, it's in Naperville, right?
Yes.
One of them.
Oh, okay, I've been there. I love that. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
You guys
That's
have
good
some
to hear.
juicy burgers, mashallah.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, this is our second location. So I'm currently in Dallas. So the Dallas
Okay.
one, we just finished all the signage.
Nice.
We got all the wallpaper done.
Nice.
So alhamdulillah, it's coming along.
Yeah. It's nice when you have a halal fast food that's up to par with American like decoration and design.
Yeah. This one I wanted to make sure we have like a nice theme, the colors, everything ready to go. And then inshallah in Naperville we'll do the same thing then.
Well, you have a consistent brand, right? So it should work.
Yeah.
From branding point of view, that's always a good idea. All right, so you guys can see that.
Yep.
All right. And then- I forgot it's time since I've done. So basically, as the questions keep coming, I'll keep slides going. Same list of questions. Somewhere in the middle, I'll ask them to join the chamber's social networks. Then hiring the staff, and we keep on going. So that's it.
Sounds good.
Okay, I feel comfortable. It's should be good.
Yeah, pretty simple.
Yeah, it's straightforward. All right. See you all in 10 minutes, 20 minutes.
Sounds good. I think Sharif just texted he'll join in 5 minutes.
Okay, then let's wait for him.
So
Oh yeah, he did. Oh, cool. Is it different for Dallas compared to Chicago?
it is. Let's just say the permitting over here, brother. Oh my God, it's been tough.
It is tougher than
It's
Ireland.
been, yeah, like I think so. Building everything else went pretty easy, but I'm in Richardson, right? The town called Richardson, and over here, I'm still working on the last thing to be done, and I have my final inspection, inshallah, next week.
Okay.
But they're very, very picky, like things that I've never done before. They want me to do those things extra like safety, extra protection for equipment. So
Is it just that that's the process, or is it just that business while being Muslim?
I think that's just the process here in Richardson. They're very strict by the code.
Right.
And they just require extra things that most cities don't require.
Well, I've heard like people say Naperville is pretty tough too, but if you are saying it's tougher than Naperville, then that's interesting.
That's that's the thing. I have my location in Naperville, and it was not even close to how difficult this one is.
Oh,
Naperville, I finished all my permits, inspections, all in one day.
okay. Interesting.
This has been like a few months.
Wow.
Yeah, so it hasn't been easy. And then especially it's being in a different market, right? So
Right.
building all the connections here, contractors here, it's completely different than Chicago.
Okay.
Like it costed me more here because the demand is so high
Right.
for contractors in Dallas compared to Chicago. I know so many people that could have done all this work for a third of the price.
Ah, that's very interesting.
So yeah, it's a good learning experience.
So you're going to keep both of them open, or are you going to franchise it?
So both of these are going to be open, and then inshallah going forward we'll be franchising.
Good idea. I might
So
buy one.
yeah,
Yeah.
we could
The kids
definitely
are growing
talk.
old. I need some work for them. Oh, isn't
Hey,
that every doctor's dream to open a restaurant?
hey, your kids did a good job listening to me during the event, so I'm pretty sure they'll catch
Well,
on
the
quick.
older one has been telling me to allow him to work weekends.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, I don't know. I don't like. He's too young.
No,
Yeah,
mashallah, they're smart kids, they're hardworking. I saw that during the Halal Fest. They were on top of it.
yeah. The older one wants to work weekends. That's going to be interesting. I
It's
don't know.
good. It's a good learning experience.
Yeah, but being a father, I'm like, you have to like take your time, man. You'll have to work your whole life. You
Yeah.
don't know what you're
Because
asking for. Yeah.
they as kids you wanna get in and start working and save up money and all that.
Yeah,
But once you get into it, you're like, man, why did I do this?
yeah, I know.
So no, they'll learn once you put them through it, they'll learn.
How many years have you been in the restaurant industry, Brother Farooq?
Alhamdulillah, it's been 8 years now.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, it's been 8 years. So learned a lot. Started young.
Nice. So you just started with Burger Life. Were you working a job before, or you just
So yeah, right out of college, I worked at KPMG as an auditor.
oh cool.
Um, I did that
CPA?
for about CPA, yeah. So I did that for about a year and a half, and then I left KPMG and I started the Burger Life then.
Nice, mashallah.
So since then, never looked back.
I think once you get a taste of entrepreneurial life, like the corporate life's kind of hard.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. And the thing is, I've always, as growing up as a kid, I've always wanted to start my
Yeah.
own business. I always had the passion in that. But I went to school because of my parents,
Hmm.
so they wanted me to graduate, have a degree and everything. So I did it for them, and then I came right back to what I wanted to do.
Yeah. But that's great
So,
because I'm sure you got some great experience and like discipline, all that from the schooling
oh
and
yeah,
work too.
that's the
So
biggest advantage is that even when people tell me it's like, oh, like, what was the point of going to school? I was like, there's still a point. You still learn a lot from it.
100%.
All
You
right.
learn a lot, discipline and everything to even as simple as like multitasking, right? Being able to
Yeah.
take stress, you know, those things you kind of learn, and then you can apply that in real world. You might not use biology and some other
Yeah.
stuff, but it still teaches you like the key principles.
All right.
Yeah.
So I just got an email from Illinois Restaurant Association. They're going to send a rep at the end of the call. So
Okay.
little official. Not that we needed it, but okay.
Yeah.
Like it would have been nice if you would have told me in the morning. It would have been nice,
Right?
but 15 minutes before the damn event.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'll take it.
How many people do we have signed up?
67 when I last checked. I'll
Okay.
say 30% of them will show up.
Yeah.
Which is not bad.
Not bad.
And let me invite a new panelist. So I usually have a Zoom jockey and Herbert. He does all my webinars and stuff. So it's funny today. He's in India. This is 7 o'clock. He goes like, no, I cannot be there. Please. Okay, apparently I have to go up to here. Assalamu alaikum, brother Sharif. He doesn't want to talk to us, man.
Yep. Assalamualaikum. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Like Osam, yes.
Sorry about that. I was just putting the kids, giving them a bath.
See, now I was going to give you a hard time, but now I can't give you a hard time. That's not fair, man.
He was ready with the perfect excuse.
Exactly. That doesn't help me much, man.
I will turn on my camera.
Me and this lady.
Now, you guys can see me?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
How's it going, brother?
Alhamdulillah, it's good, man. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, good.
This looks good. Let me share the screen.
Missed the brisket, man. It's been a while.
Dude, I have a story to tell you guys. There was this event in New York, by
I know
Muslim
about
foodies.
this.
Yeah, and then our truck broke down on the way.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's still over there, and the part that broke down is this one part that fits these Ford F550s, and so that got fixed, and so but I just didn't want to risk anything, so it's getting towed back tomorrow. So it's
So you have to drive the truck to different states?
yeah. I mean, it's a basically it's a 3.5 ton truck, right? So this was the first time we did it. Obviously, it wasn't a good idea.
You were collabing, I think, with my friend Zishan.
Yes. He mentioned you.
Yeah.
He said that he's going to
Yeah.
come. I think he's going to do a collab with you or something like that when he gets here. But funny, I never
Yeah.
met him. He reached out to us on Instagram. Yeah, he seems a very nice guy. Very nice guy.
Yeah, very nice guy. I've known him from since high school.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So we would always experiment things, try things. And then I started the Burger Life, and he was like, you know what, maybe I should try doing my own thing too. And I was like, give it a shot, man, and never hurts. So he started out in New York then.
I'm not on Instagram. My wife is, but she was like, his stuff looks really good. Like his food looks really good. I was actually really excited for that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, maybe it was for the best. You never know.
100% it was for the best.
Sharif, do you go with Sharif or Muhammad?
I go by Muhammad, but I think there's so many. It's Mo this or Mo that. I'm fine with Sharif.
Okay. So in the webinar, I'll introduce you as Sharif, Bora as you, Bora, and Farooq as Farooq.
Either one works. Either one works.
Okay, just want to make sure. Do you have only one truck, or I thought you have multiple trucks?
No, just one truck. We're very small, very new. Yeah, it was just one truck.
How many pounds do you cook at a time?
So for the event that Farooq, the event we did, the ICN event, I think we did 180 pounds. I don't remember the number. At the ICW event, we did about 130. No, we did 98 pounds. That was the first event we did. We didn't think it would sell out, but it did, alhamdulillah. And then on a weekend basis, we do about 20 to 30 pounds.
So usually you run it over the weekend?
I'm sorry?
Usually you just run your truck over the weekend, or is it?
Exactly. Just not even over the entire weekend, just Saturday for 2 hours. That's usually what we do.
Oh.
Yeah. It's just it's a lot of planning because I'm obviously involved, right? And then I think with the family, with the kids, it's just it's really hard to do more than that. And then the cooks take so long, right? It's a 16 or 17 hour cook, depending on how much meat I have. and so that takes about 2 days to do, or a day and a half, depending on how you think about it.
You have really good
Uh,
brisket, by the way.
Oh, you
Yeah,
tried it?
it's really good.
Yeah,
Oh.
I've been. See, I'm the best part about me is I'm invisible. That's what I tell Shafiq all the time. Like I'm invisible, so I can
That's
do a lot of stuff.
yeah. The thing is, I try to be as low key as possible, right? Just because, like, I don't know, I just want to cook. I just want to be in the kitchen cooking. I'm not really too much of like talking to people and stuff like that. I do enjoy it. It's good, right? But I wish I wish I could just be in the back and just be in the kitchen.
My thing is, I only want to be there to help people.
Mhm.
As long as I can do that, I have no desire to be in front of anything.
Kashyap, have we met in person?
Yeah, we have. See,
Oh,
that's
we
how
have. Okay.
well I am.
Oh, okay.
Probably at the Naperville Halal Fest.
Gotcha.
Not only at Halal Fest, we met at. You were at a sports event.
The ICW one.
Yeah.
Yes, that was the first one we did. Yeah. Oh, okay. Farouk, obviously, I know you.
Yeah.
Yeah, who hasn't met Farouk?
Uh,
Bora didn't, right? So I guess that makes sense.
No.
yeah, this is the first time. So
But I'm sure we might have ran into each other maybe at Tails or at one of the Halal festivals because we were active in like a lot of festivals this past summer, past 2 years.
yeah, probably the Halal Fest then.
Yeah, that was huge. It's not expecting something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait for the next year.
Let's go.
I'm ready for next year. See,
You're
this
ready?
year,
I'm not ready yet for next year.
this year they only gave me 1 month to market it. Wait next year.
Yeah.
Any idea where it's going to be, Kashyap?
Probably the same place.
Oh, same
Because
place, okay.
it works that way for us. Like we
Gotcha.
have a relationship with. So Halal Fest is more of a political event that people don't realize it.
Mm-hmm.
Is showing how much influence we have. So when the mayor comes to that and says 20,000 people, next time you cancel our license, please think they can come to your door too. Yeah.
Honestly, that's where the mayor got close to me too. Like he came to my booth and he's like, "Hey, I want to show support your Naperville business. Like, let me know if you guys need anything." I'm like, "Oh, sounds good."
Yeah, why would we say no to that, right?
Yeah.
No, that's the idea, right? So the reason I got involved with the chamber thing was like chamber is one place where you can, kind of, because this business is not that religious and all that. So, it's more of an angle that works.
Hmm.
Oh, good that I opened it right now, not during the session.
That would have been funny if it exploded during our meeting right then.
And then everybody will be saying he's drinking Coca-Cola. I had a client. I'm so addicted to Coca-Cola that I had a client send me a case of Coca-Cola as thank you.
Oh, wow. It's funny as Sharif grabs his water. He's like, let me, yeah.
I'm a sparkling water guy. I don't really drink too much pop.
My only bad habit that's left is drinking pop. Every other bad habit I got rid of.
For this, Farouk, I'm assuming you're probably everything's gonna start with you, right?
Yeah, we could do that.
Looks like
That's
some of the
fine.
orders are a bit different.
Nah, I just went up and down on it. It's not.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it honestly doesn't. It's gonna go by pretty quick. I feel like the most time we're gonna spend on is questionnaire. I feel
Okay.
like people will have, a good amount of questions. So I think if we all just give like our quick, like, 2-3 sentences on each topic, that should cover most of it. Because we all come from like a different point of view, right? So
Right.
I'm more of like the fast casual. And then Brother Bora has like the more fine dining or dine-in, family oriented. And then you have more of like the events and the food truck partake. So we all have a different view on the business.
Okay, so we have people already signing in.
I'll be back in about 1 minute. I'm gonna put on some better.
Take your time. Hey, does my branding show?
Yeah. Kashyap is representing. He's like,
Yeah, look at this, right? What's an IT guy doing in the restaurant business?
hey, it's free marketing.
Yep. Where was I? We were somewhere and Shafiq was like, "You always wear this shirt. Don't you have any other clothes?" Yeah, this is my branding. This has to be
Yeah.
everything.
Make sure I lock my door so no one walks in on the meeting.
All right. He's like that. We make sure nobody walks in the building. 4 more minutes.
Yeah, since we're not open yet, we've had so many people just walk in and be like, "Hey, are you guys open yet?" I'm like, "No, you see, no one's here, so we're not open."
Well, it must be very interesting to start a new business. You know, like, must take some courage.
There's always a lot of like the excitement is there, but then it's like I don't think most people really understand what it takes to like get it going and run it and manage it. Because obviously like starting a business is like, oh, I want to, I'm buying a new car,
Right.
right? So some people do their research and they're like, oh, this is what I like. This is, interesting. It's a good price and all that. But then it's like, if you don't know like the maintenance and how to take care of the car, then you're kind of ruining it then.
Right.
So it's like I definitely tell people I'm like I love when people are passionate about it and they want to get into the field, but it's also something that's not meant for everyone. Like you have to be kind of built different to survive the pressure. Yeah, like you have to have certain personality traits to make sure that you can continue to run it. It's not a business that you do for 1 year and then you're like, okay, I'm done. So patience is huge. And I think all the guys would approve that. Like you have to be very patient in this industry to survive it.
Definitely.
All right.
So
We are in session now. Okay.
I feel like a lot of people who get into the restaurant industry is like because they like cooking or they can produce something nice for their friends and family, but they realize that's only like one small aspect of it. There's a whole lot of other aspects.
yeah.
That-
It's a great hobby. Like if it's a hobby and you like to do it, that's fine. But it's definitely harder when you are doing it on a big scale, right?
Yeah.
You have so many moving pieces. You got to be able to multitask. Like that's a lot of pressure compared to just cooking a meal at home.
Yeah.
People are coming in. Bora,
Yes.
is there any way you can mute the sound behind you?
Oh, unfortunately,
It's okay.
I can't. Yeah,
Okay,
I can. If you give me a second, I'll see if there's a more private spot. I was supposed to be the only one in the back hall, but we have some groups tonight, so
No
I'm
problem. No
sharing with
problem.
some groups. Give me
No
a
problem.
moment. I'll
All
check.
right, take your time.
Yeah.
Hi, Lisa. We already are getting questions.
I saw that coming. I'll be right back.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. We will start in a couple of minutes. We still have participants coming in. Hi. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Kashif. Most of you know me. I help chambers with wherever and whatever I can. With me are Brother Farouk, who owns Burger Life, Brother Sharif, who owns Mustard, and Brother Bora, who owns Thousand Tales. And we also have Lisa, who is representing Illinois Restaurant Association. Thank you for joining us, Lisa. The format of the whole event is basically we will go and ask different questions and wait for the panelists to reply to them. You can actually put your questions into the Q&A chat and we will answer as we can. All right, first question. Let me do that. Too many screens. So, please, Brother Farouk, Brother Sharif, and Brother Bora, introduce yourself, and then we can move forward.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Farouk, and I have the Burger Life for about 8 years. A lot of you guys might have tried it. It's located in Naperville. So I'm here today to kind of help you guys with my experience. And then we have other two brothers that will introduce them as well.
Brother Bora.
My name is Bura. My family's the owner of 1,000 Tales in Mount Prospect. My father opened the company, restaurant. We started off with Istanbul Market. It's in the same plaza. We had a store and cafe, and we've expanded. 3 years ago, we opened 1,000 Tales, and it's a fine dining Mediterranean Turkish cuisine.
Brother Sharif.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sharif. I own Mustard. We're a food truck right now, and we do Southern style Texas barbecue. We've had a food truck for about 3-4 months now, and yeah, just kind of getting started.
All right. Lisa is going to actually have closing remarks. Right now, she's driving, so I'm going to skip her for intro. Let's start with the first question. How did you choose what type of restaurant you wanted to open?
So I'll start with Burger Life. This was back in 2017. Honestly, it just comes down to researching your market. I love food, but just loving food is not enough to start a restaurant. So I saw there was barely anything in the market at the time in 2017 that had fresh gourmet style burgers. I kind of did a lot of research before getting into the market to see what are the options out there. As far as Zabiya Halal, we are HFSA certified from day one. So it literally comes down to just doing your research and seeing what the market really needs, and executing that plan. So alhamdulillah, we started back then and has been going strong since.
Brother Sharif.
Sure. The restaurant, we kind of chose the food truck just because there was a lot of limitations for us to start a brick and mortar. Different cities have different rules in regards to a live fire, wood smoke, and things like that. We went to when we were first starting, we looked at Plainfield. They had a lot of restrictions with the fire department, with the city, with health, etc. We went to Naperville and Lombard and a few others, and then we kind of decided just to start with the food truck, just to at least get moving, and that's kind of how we are where we are.
Brother Bora.
We're Turkish, so for us, like we're ethnically Turkish. Opening a Turkish restaurant cuisine, we're already fond of our food. We know how to make it. We saw like a demand in the market, just like how Brother Farouk was talking about. We saw a problem that we looked to solve. There's a lot of halal restaurants, but there's not really there weren't really too many like nice halal restaurants you could take your family out to for birthday parties, for events. So a lot of times, if you want to go to a restaurant for these type of events, you have to go somewhere with liquor. You have to go somewhere that serve non-halal food. So we kind of tried to fill that void in the market where you can have a go to a nice establishment and where it's completely zabia halal.
So the next question in the queue is, how did you finance your business? Let's start with Brother Farouk.
So financing your restaurant or your business idea when it comes to a restaurant, I honestly, I saved up my money. I was working a corporate job before I even had the idea of starting a restaurant. So for me, I took it very small. I did it step by step, and a lot of the people that know Burger Life year one would be familiar with understanding how I started slow. So for example, equipment and all of that is something that you have to have in order to operate. For me, decor wasn't the biggest thing to start the business going. I took that upon myself to be like, let me do the painting, try to save costs wherever I can. Even when it comes to staff, I didn't have a single staff member other than me and my friends that were getting the place up and running. Alhamdulillah, over time, once business grew, you start getting more cash flow coming into your business. That's when you're able to take those bigger steps. People take out loans, people have other investors as options. So it just comes down to what you prefer and what you're comfortable with when financing your restaurant.
Brother Sharif.
Sure. I when we first started, we were just selling out of the house, out of my house. We would do once a week for an hour. We'd have an hour window where we could do pickups. The challenge with that is people can't just show up and be like, "Hey, do you have something available?" So we did a pre-order, and so every week we had a steady pre-order, and it was kind of going well. And then from there, we realized, hey, to kind of scale this and to continue growing, we needed something else. And like I mentioned before, ideally we would have had a brick and mortar, but the cost to start up a brick and mortar, especially with vanilla boxes or second generation restaurants, we were facing a lot of challenge. Some of the vanilla boxes that we could have done, the financing required was upwards of $600,000-$700,000, which frankly I didn't have, and I didn't really want any outside financing. And so that's where the food truck came. The food truck was a lot more affordable. I wouldn't say easier to do, but it was a lot more affordable, a lot more practical. The time to get everything up and running is a lot quicker than say 8-9 months of building something out. But financing was completely self-financed. Well, we have there's 4 partners, and so each of us have a different percentage, and so. The reason more than the financing that's kind of important to me was the help, right? So the partners are there to kind of offer help and things, which in my opinion is a lot more valuable than money, especially at the beginning. But yeah, that's for me.
Brother Bara.
Oh, we're self-financed. It took a long time. It was a long journey, about 10 years from opening Istanbul Market, our small store and cafe, to opening 1,000 Tails. So if you're gonna do with every financial path you choose, they're gonna have its struggles and hurdles. Whether you self-finance, whether you have partners, or you decide to take loans, you just have to be ready for that. For brick and mortar restaurants, definitely have money saved for rainy days. Equipment or infrastructure, it can go up. You can be spending tens of thousands of dollars left and right. So
Like if one is opening a restaurant, what financial, how much of a yearly budget should they keep on the side to make sure for security?
depends on the size of your restaurant. It can go from 50,000 to 500,000.
Yeah. So interesting. Did you guys have a business plan before starting?
I think
Yeah, I'll start.
if you don't have I'm sorry, brother. Yeah, go ahead.
No. So I think that's a key thing. That's the first thing you should do when even considering starting any business, let alone a restaurant. Having a business plan shows that you've done your research on what you're trying to do and how you're going to execute it as well. Without a business plan, you're kind of just walking into an environment that, you know, you don't know what to expect. So a business plan is the easiest way to put it is that it's kind of like your map to run your business. So that way you know exactly, hey, this is what our concept is, this is our vision, this is what we need to do, and this is how we execute it. So yes, I created my own business plan. You can get some ideas and samples online. It's pretty available there too. But it's definitely something that everyone should build first and then work on the next steps.
To add to that, I think a lot of landlords will not won't consider you unless you do have a business plan. And yeah, we know that because we had to do one. We had to get all the finance paperwork, business plan, everything together. And yeah, without it, I just don't think they take you seriously. It's not fun to do. It's not fun to do at all. Like it's long. It's kind of tedious, but I think it's something that needs to be done.
Brother Bora.
Yeah, I think it's good to spend good time on the business plan, go in depth, try to get everything for details, marketing, menu, how you're gonna hire people, your target audience, like really spend as much time as you want, because once you start running that business, then you press the go button. So it's hard to go back and change those things. If you take your time and make a in-depth business plan, then it helps to set smooth sailing from when you start.
Is there any particular thing that you guys are like, hey, this is one lesson we learned doing business plan?
I think
I
for
think
us, I'm sorry, yeah, for us, I feel like we set some business plans, but you have to sometimes you do have to be flexible and change it. Like you might start with something and then you might realize, oh, like maybe with this product I can't reach this audience, but I still have an opportunity to reach this audience. Yeah, something of that sort.
But Sharif, you were saying something?
no, that's exactly what I wanted to say. The flexibility part. You know, once you have the restaurant up and running, or you know whatever it is, there's going to be a lot of things that come up that you know that you may have missed or you wouldn't have thought of until it comes up, right? And flexibility, I think, is very key for that. Yeah, especially in how it is for us.
Next question is registering your business. So is it just, it's not just registering like your with the state and stuff, it's also registering your trademark and everything. So go ahead, Farouk.
Correct. So most people know you have to register with the state, with the city, getting everything legality wise covered, right? Taxes, all of that you have to set up in order to even start a business. But a big learning curve that I learned, and it's funny that you brought it up, Kashaway, was that I hired a lawyer to get our name registered, trademarked, and everything. So people that know Burger Life, back 8 years ago, it used to be called Burger Lounge. So it was called the Burger Lounge, and you know, within a year, we were doing so great, alhamdulillah, and the word was getting out there. And I got a call from Burger Lounge from California. So they're same thing, a burger chain. They're a franchise out in California. And he was like the VP of marketing. Very nice guy. He just gave me a call and said, hey, just wanted to give you a heads up. We've been hearing a lot of good things about you guys. However, Burger Lounge, like the two words burger and lounge, is trademarked under our patent and trademark. So I was like, interesting. I was like, I saw that and I told my lawyer that, hey, there's one in California. Will that be an issue? Unfortunately, my lawyer said, no, you're fine. You're in the Midwest. It won't affect you. That wasn't true. So alhamdulillah, you know, he was a very nice guy. He just said, if we ever do expand in the Midwest and want to come to the Chicago market, we don't want it to be an issue in the future. I said, don't worry about it. It's only been a year into the business. This is something that I should fix now rather than later. So at the time we went ahead and we changed the name from The Burger Lounge to The Burger Life. Now, when I did it that way, yes, it costed us some money. We had to change signage and marketing, all that. But I made sure we did the trademark right away. So it is very important. I would definitely do your own research. If the name is taken anywhere in the US, you're better off choosing another name. I would not try to fight it. Don't think that, hey, it won't come after me. I'm in Chicago. Speaking from experience, it's better you have everything on paper and everything registered based on your business.
Brother Sharif?
I'm just taking notes. No, I don't have much to add to that. Ours is just a little bit different, just because we're not in one location. We just have a few other. We'll cover those topics a little bit later. But registering, I think, was pretty straightforward for us, so it wasn't too much of an issue.
Brother Bora?
Yeah, Brother Fox summed it up well. Filing your business LLC with the Secretary of State, and then also ITIN with the IRS. So that's also important as well. So to get your business started.
Don't make the mistake I made.
Yeah, great point.
Or if you do come to Farouk and ask, right?
That's true too.
Next question is, how did you find your space or location? And it's obviously different for Brother Sharif than others, but
So finding the space. So I honestly, I live in Plainfield, Naperville area for majority of my time. And I always knew that, hey, Naperville it's a great town where a lot of our Muslim community will be growing. It was for me, it was also about the convenience aspect of being able to commute to work, finding a spot that will be good enough. I took a big gamble on my location. The reason why was when I chose this spot, the area was abandoned. There was no, so if you guys are familiar with my location, it's currently in Naperville, right by Patel Brothers, right? Now, when I took that spot, I didn't know Patel Brothers was coming, right? It was just an abandoned building. I think it used to be a Kmart that was abandoned for like 12 years. So it was a very dark parking lot, like it should be all red flags usually for anyone. But alhamdulillah, it worked out. Within, I think, 3 months after we opened, we heard the rumor that Patel Brothers is coming into that lot. So I got lucky with that one. And that was a gamble that I was willing to take, especially with having everything, self-sustaining to a point where I invested all my own money into this business. I took that gamble of making it work. But also back then in 2017, we didn't have that many halal options. So people were willing to drive out and come to a location. Now that there's, alhamdulillah, so much business out there, the biggest thing is every business wants to be on a main road, right? Visibility is key. Location is key for a business. So the more visible you are, the better the chance you gain the business as well too.
so out of curiosity, was it different in Dallas when you were opening your place in Dallas for location, or was it still the risk that you wanted to take?
So yes, now alhamdulillah in Dallas, we were able to take a bigger risk on getting a property that we truly like, a location that we truly like. So for us over here, we're in the Richardson area. Richardson's known for majority of the food business, right? So there's so many restaurants here in Richardson. I also always wanted a corner unit that had also outdoor seating. Now, with Dallas weather, you're able to have outdoor seating, right? So it was a dream for me to have a location that had that option of outdoor seating. So alhamdulillah, we locked in on a deal with this location where we have, a good ample amount of space for dine-in. The kitchen is like probably the perfect amount, nothing too much, nothing too less. And we also have that extra outdoor seating as well. So it's definitely tough on your first restaurant because you can't have everything at once unless you have the money to back it up. But going forward, I think you do improve if you decide to expand your business as well.
I've been always curious, Brother Sharif, how do you guys decide where to take the truck?
That's one of the hardest things that we one of the biggest challenges that we face. I remember, so right now we kind of on the weekends, there's a space we go. It's in Westmont, and I called up a friend. I said, "Hey, do you know anyone who who owns a gas station or any kind of lot or anything like that?" And he's like, "I own one." And so he has a mosque right on the corner of I don't know how familiar anyone is, but on 62nd and Cass, there's a mosque right there. And he said, if you want, you're welcome to it every weekend. Just let me know how long you need it. So we kind of got lucky in that sense. Without that, we would have been pretty much stuck. We would have had to call other people. I'm sure eventually we would have got something together, but it's really convenient for us right now. But that's a big challenge that we face, right? And then depending on what location you are, you may be isolated from the people you want to come to you. But that's kind of how we are right now. Yeah, it's a challenge. It's a big challenge that we face kind of day to day.
Brother Barak, how did you guys choose the location?
No, we were fortunate when we started. There was no Turkish restaurants in a 5-mile radius, and there's a Turkish cultural center sitting right behind us. There's a growing Turkish community. There's a growing Muslim community. There's a growing Central Asian community in this area, in the northwest suburbs. So we found the plaza. We got a good deal. Now we're good with the landlords. And we grew from there. I'd like to add with Brother Farouk, visibility is key. If people can drive by, walk by your business, they can smell and see what's going on. That's definitely going to draw them in. A big advantage for us is the highway is right next to us. So people get off the expressway, Elmhurst exit. That's the easiest way to direct them. Just talk on the phone. Where you guys located? Elmhurst and Oakton, right there. Most people know the Elmhurst exit on I-90. So I think a good location, you'd have to, obviously for your business, you have to decide where you want to open your location. Sometimes you might think, there's no I'm gonna throw it out there, like Jamaican jerky, right? There's no Jamaican jerky restaurants out there, but if you open that Jamaican jerky restaurant, if you can see that there's a audience for it, you can create a demand for that. So yeah.
So you said a very interesting point. So does having the smells have an effect?
Oh, most definitely.
Huh?
Yeah, if I'm walking by Brother Farouk's burger life and I smell and I see someone eating a juicy burger, I'm gonna save it on my Apple Maps. I'm gonna be okay. I gotta check this place out sometime. Or if I see Brother Muhammad Sharif's food truck and I see a halal sign and some people enjoying some halal food, I'm gonna take a picture of it. So I think it definitely makes a big difference.
The next question is, how do you create a menu? You all three have a different type of. Brother Farouk is more or less a fast food restaurant. Brother Sharif has a truck, and you guys have a very nice certain location. So how do you guys decide what should be on the menu? Some menus are very big and some are very limited. So how does that come through?
So this was probably the hardest thing for me to get through. Creating a menu, I knew what I wanted to be on the menu itself, right? As a burger restaurant, obviously your most common items like a cheeseburger, double cheeseburger, these are the kind of the standards across the board. But we don't only just do that, right? So I came up with our own creations. things that I think customers would enjoy. And honestly, the best way and easiest way to do that is by creating that item and trying it, right? It's trial and error. So there were a few burger items that we actually just, put together some ideas, created it, tried it out, had friends and family try it out, get their feedback, and see kind of what people would like. So we started off with that. We came up with maybe like 5 or 6 items. And then honestly, I just asked customers. I asked family, I asked friends. I was like, hey, what's something that you guys would enjoy like as a burger? Create something and I'll put it on the menu. And till this day, I have a few items that are named after friends that created the burger. So at the end of the day, you want to cater to your customers, right? So if you even do something on social media and say, hey, we'll do a giveaway for whoever comes up with the best item, right? For our menu. There's so many ways that you can create a menu by taking their advice as well as, your friends and family too.
Did you change your menu a lot, or it was just
I wouldn't say a lot. So I started with my menu where so we always had burgers, we had sandwiches, but we started off, I would say about 12 to 14 items. And then it just started growing within the first year. So I remember in the beginning, we did pizza for like 2, 3 months and people loved it, but it just didn't make sense for my business plan for pizza to be a part of that menu. We had great feedback on it. People, till this day, I have people messaging me on Instagram saying, when are you bringing back pizza? Every Eid, I get a message from someone saying, are you bringing pizza back? So, alhamdulillah, it was a great product, but it just doesn't go with my business.
so you're talking about the new one called the Pizza Light?
Hey, don't ruin the spoiler. No, inshallah, if it's meant to be, then inshallah one day we can definitely work on that too. But it's just a learning experience, to be honest. Like you start off with a few items, you might, grow into a lot of items and then you cut back down. And there's nothing wrong with that, to be honest. Like that's the whole point of you knowing your business. Like Brother Shafiq, sorry,
Brother Sharif?
I spoke with Brother Shafiq about this, and he was saying too that like, hey, like a simple menu is always a good menu. And I agreed to an extent with that. Simple menu is good because it makes your operations very good, right? But then you also want to capitalize if a family of 5 come in and the kids don't want something on the menu, you're gonna have to go to multiple restaurants just to take care of everyone's needs, right? So you kind of learn the balance between the two. You don't want to have too much and you don't want to have too less. Something that's still controllable though.
How did you decide your menu, Brother Sharif?
Unlike Brother Farouk, my menu is probably one of the easiest things to do, right? Given that it's a Texas style barbecue, the one thing you need for Texas style barbecue is brisket. And so with brisket, one of the byproducts of it was a burger, right? And then so kind of because what happens is you have a lot of trimmings, a lot of leftover. And so with that, I didn't want to waste it. So I decided, hey, I'm gonna turn this into a smoked burger, right? So those are the first 2 things on the menu. And then given that it's a food truck, you're very limited on what you can do. You can't have 1,000 things on the menu. Even 4 things, I think, is pushing it, right? So those are the kind of 2 major things that we have. Sometimes we'll do ribs, depending on the occasion and stuff like that. But then some of the challenges is there's a cost associated with everything, right? So if you make ribs instead of brisket, there's more people that are going to buy brisket than there are ribs, and so there's an opportunity cost there. One of I guess the challenges I face would be, sometimes I want to experiment with something different, right? But I just can't, just given that I'm only open for a limited number of hours, and so there's only so much I can do within that time to make it worth it for me, right? So one thing I really can't do is I can't really do chicken, right? Chicken is just the margins aren't quite there, and I'd have to sell it in volume, which is impossible, right? Because again, you're only open for 2 hours, not 9 hours, 8 hours, or whatever that number is. And so for me, the menu I think was more the easier thing to do, just because just with the limitations, you're limited on what you can do. So you have to just pick one or two things to do and be good at that. So.
Brother Bora, how did you guys decide on the menu?
A lot of market research, just like seeing what Mediterranean restaurants they serve. And then we try to add a few things that like are unique to us, like our beiti kebab. I don't think any Turkish restaurants, or maybe very few now, recently started serving beiti kebab, and some other different items. And then sometimes there's an item that other people may serve, but the way we present it is different. Like our family platter, it came on a wood board with a dry ice show with a hot butter fire show. So I think if you can do something like that, like right, everyone can have a kebab, but what makes your kebab different is maybe the way you present it. So that was a big thing. Also, I think finding your margins per item and tracking that, similar to what Brother Sharif was talking about, like seeing which items sell and which items have the most profit margin. Some items you're going to have very high profit margins on, some items you're going to have very low, but you're going to need to keep those items because that's the reason why people come there, right? And then the high profit margin items, those are the ones you want to sell, of course, but it might not always be what the customer wants, so it depends.
Out of curiosity, does the presentation of food make a difference?
It depends on the business, definitely. Definitely in like in family restaurants, in fine dining, fine catering, all that. It definitely matters because people, the first thing they do, they come to the restaurant, they start taking a video. Before they get their food, they take a picture, put it on Instagram. So it's like their eyes eat before they eat. And I think that's a big deal. If you can wow them, that's great. And then if the food can be good on top of that, that's great. What I see a lot of restaurants, they have like amazing shows and stuff, but the food doesn't add up, or they have great food and sometimes the show doesn't add up. And yeah, if you can combine both, that's great.
So at this point, I will ask everybody if they can join and follow us on social media. Illinois Muslim Chamber, the links are there. Moving on to the next subject, hiring your first staff.
Hiring staff. So I think this is one of the key things that people should focus on. Your staff is your most important thing. That's what's going to get you through your business. You have to take care of them all the time, right? So they're the ones that are working day in, day out for you. I think there's a lot that goes into the staff as far as like appreciation. There's multiple ways that you can actually find your staff. Especially nowadays, it's become so easy. With, you have Indeed, you have ZipRecruiter, you have Google Jobs, word of mouth, flyers. You get your traditional walk-in people that come to your business and say, hey, I'm looking for a job. So I think over time and with experience, you kind of learn what you truly need in your business, and you kind of see the personality of a person that will work well with your business too. I remember when I first started, I was trying to get basically as much help as possible, right? Alhamdulillah, things were growing so fast. I could only, be in so many positions at, so many times, especially starting up. And for me, it was just kind of an approach that I wanted to get people in there. And as soon as they're working, I can kind of tell them, hey, do this, do that, do this, do that. As an owner, you don't want that. You want someone that is able to do the job the right way as you teach them without you being present, right? That's when you truly have a peace of mind that, hey, these guys know what they're doing. I trust them and they're doing the job right. So alhamdulillah, like even I'm here in Dallas working on our second location, and I have a team now that it takes time to build. But over time, once you find that team and you connect all the pieces together, that staff is what's going to make your business continue to run.
Brother Sharif, whenever I come to your truck, there's always many people around there.
We found that on the truck there has to be what's the number? I think 6 people minimum to kind of run it, right? And with that, there's a cost to it. One of the things about the actual staff is, luckily, I have many brothers, and so this is also another reason why I do it on weekends. All right, people are more available, so my brothers are usually always on the truck, working, and then with them, there's a few other friends and stuff like that. So for me, it's a little different, right? It's not an everyday thing. We don't have steady hours, right? We're open, and hours can change, location can change. So I need people that are a bit more flexible. I have a group, but I just kind of say, hey, I need 3-4 people to work on a specific time, a specific day, who's available, and then people will kind of volunteer. But one thing Farouk said though is, for us on the truck, right, especially if we're doing events, I think things are moving so fast that I can't always look over my shoulder and see, hey, what the person over here is doing, what this is doing, because I'm busy doing something myself. And so having people you trust, I think, is key. And so in our truck, we've kind of found that some people gravitate towards something. Some people have better personalities than others. Some people are more willing to talk to people than others, right? Some people can handle the POS system. Some people can, are comfortable, screaming someone's name out, order number 3, come get it, whatever. And so I think staff is very important. I think it's, I think it's important just to have a really a staff that kind of cares, or you can vibe with, you know what I mean? But yeah.
Brother Barak, how do you guys hire?
So we have 60 staff members. We started with 3. We have 60. So our main focus right now is building a company culture and a vision, and then hiring leaders that can basically can align with our values within that vision and focus. So I think having leaders and trustworthy people is very important. Just like how Brother Farouk was saying, like taking care of your people, taking care of people in your workplace is very important. And for our experience, diversity is important, because with 60 people, if you have 60 people and they're all buddies and they all come from the same community, then you're basically like, it's kind of like creates a group right there. So when you have different backgrounds, different diversity and groups within your restaurant, I think, or even your workplace, I think it adds to a more flavorful workplace. And you're gonna need special leaders to be able to manage that well. And I saw like something in the Q&A just real quick, like someone saying like, I really like to cook, but I don't like to talk to people. So if that's your case, then you're gonna have to find some good leaders to work with, and you're still gonna have to hone your leadership skills. Even if you really like to cook and that's all you like, you still have to hone your leadership skills to a certain pedigree, regardless.
Next questions: insurance, permits, and certifications.
So with insurance and permits, it depends on each area. So, we were just briefly speaking about this a little bit earlier too. Now with the Chicago market, you might have, there's divided into different sections. You have DuPage County, Will County, everyone kind of does things a little bit different. But overall, they're very similar. So you still have the same requirements for a business if it's a brick and mortar, or with the truck, they'll have similar things as well. So overall, safety wise, you'll have to get all your permits, your fire inspections, building inspection if you actually have a physical location. And they do a great job in kind of helping you and guiding you with that too. If you have questions, they're available for you. I learned the hard way here in Dallas that they're a bit more stricter. There's a lot more requirements here safety wise compared to Chicago. So that was a good learning curve for us here. It definitely took a little bit longer regarding getting the permits approved. But it's something that you have to get it done. You have to go through it, make sure all the safety requirements are met. And it's for your own good and for your customers too. Certification wise, we have been, certified through HFSAA. So since day one, and for me, it was always my intention to always serve people Zabiya halal food. From day one, I didn't want to take any risk with, the variations, the different suppliers. So I knew going forward that it'll stay consistent that way. That's been a huge learning curve for us being out of state now as our second location. So that took a lot of research, that took a lot of meetings with our suppliers in Chicago, with the certification board to make sure that they are able to, make this possible in Dallas. So that was something that I had to involve myself to make it happen, because we'll be the first restaurant here in Dallas that is HFSA certified, because there's another HMS that is very common here. So we kind of open the market for now other restaurants to also come in. But it's worth the amount of work that goes into it to make it available for everyone else too. So alhamdulillah, we made it out here in this market, and we're now giving it an option for everyone else to join as well. But those things do take time. So you just have to be very patient.
So, Brother Sharif, I'm always curious. So, whichever city you go to, you need a permit for that particular city?
Yes. With you guys, that was Will County. It needed a completely different set of permits. Insurance also has to be endorsed differently. So for every single event we do, the insurance we have to endorse for that specific event. If it's a different county, we also have to meet the guidelines of that county. And usually, they're all mostly the same. You just have to pay a little bit of extra money for the different permits and stuff like that. For example, Cook County is going to be completely different than Will County, which is going to be different than DuPage County. But the overall theme is generally the same. The fire inspection, the things like 3 compartment sink, hand wash, all that stuff is the same. Private events, though, however, are different. Private events, usually there aren't any permits or anything like that. The insurance is obviously going to be there for the protection of whoever's hosting that event. And the certifications are the food handler certifications that we kind of need, right? The other certification that Brother Farouk kind of touched on was the HFSAA HAFSA certification, or any other certification. For us, we are not certified with any of the organizations. The reason is we are a food truck, and our location moves, and we don't have a kind of steady place to do. However, this weekend we are moving forward with the HAFSA certification, and they're going to come by and hopefully make sure and stuff like that. But I remember when we reached out to there's a few different ones we reached out to them. Some of them said, "Hey, we don't certify food trucks yet." HAFSA said this is going to be the first one we do if we do it. So that's something to consider, right? And I would say that for the most part, that's the challenges that we face.
Brother Bora.
Well, for construction, for permits, having your construction done by licensed plumbers, HVAC, electricians is definitely better than getting it done by someone without the license. If maybe they can provide for a cheaper price, but because since they're licensed, they're gonna get up to the village standards, and you're gonna be able to pass the permit test a lot easier that way. It's gonna be better in the long run. Certifications for your servers, if you have a restaurant, for us, kitchen staff, chefs and managers should have food management. All other staff should have food handler. Insurance for our business is very important. Having a good insurance with a high coverage, because if someone, uh, God forbid, chokes on food poisoning, anything could happen. So, you want to be ready for that.
Next question is, how do you market your business?
So when I started, I think at the time, and this is, I guess this shows how old my business seems to be now. There was no Instagram, right? There's no Instagram, or it was fairly new at the time. There's no TikTok for sure. It was just at the time what was trending was like Snapchat. So I would say the first year of business, we didn't spend any money on marketing. We were just trying to see how much natural traffic we can get within the first year. And alhamdulillah, it was going very well. People were just like we talked about earlier, presentation matters. So people would just snap it, send it to their family, right? And that's how the word of mouth was going. I think as far as marketing is definitely a key thing to do for any business. For restaurants, it's definitely huge. People, when they see an item, it's kind of like planting a seed in their brain, right? Maybe they might not order that today, but they're gonna think about your food probably 3 days from now or over the weekend. Hey, there's football on Sunday. I saw a picture of boneless wings on the Burger Life's page. Now I'm craving it. I should order something for Sunday's football game, right? So marketing is a great technique, and it definitely helps businesses grow. But it also is kind of a reminder to customers that this is what we offer. And that's what intrigues customers to come back, because you'll get a lot of customers that will come for the first time, they'll try your food, and then they might forget about you. Not because your product isn't good, but just because you have to understand there's so many other options out there, right? So how do you have the upper hand in that market? And it comes down to marketing. If your marketing game is strong, you're going to make sure that your audience constantly sees your product. And if they keep seeing it, eventually the way your brain works is, hey, I've seen this so many times, I want this item. And you're going to order it. So there's multiple ways of doing marketing. You have all your social media platforms. You have your screens inside your business. You have word of mouth. You have paper as far as flyers and stuff like that. There's endless amount of opportunity when it comes to marketing.
Brother Sharif, how do you market since you are a moving object?
Yeah, I think the biggest marketing opportunity for us is doing events. Whenever we do these events, we always get X number of followers on Instagram and other places. One of the things that I don't know if you'd necessarily think of this as marketing is just kind of the nature of it and the way the truck is set up. We cut the food right in front of the people. So they ask for briskets, we cut it right there. Some people record that. It's just a little bit different, right? You don't see that every day. And then another thing is I never thought about it this way, but like HAFSA certification or any of these other certifications are, I think, in their own way, a good marketing opportunity, right? Not only does it mean the food is halal and everything like that. I was talking to one of my brothers. I was telling him that we're going to get HAFSA certified, and he said that getting a HAFSA certification is like getting a Michelin star, right? It's so I think that kind of opens the door for a lot of people that only are very strictly Zabiha or halal or whatever. Yeah, and doing the events though, for me, I think is the biggest thing. I think there's nothing that beats that.
Brother Bora, how do you guys market?
I love how brother Sharif touched up on events because they're huge. Like it's basically marketing plus you're getting paid there, so it's amazing. Um, I think social media is definitely very big. Like you have to utilize social media to your advantage. Basically like figure out your target audience. Maybe on social media you can reach a much larger target audience. So you have to try to utilize that. Uh, and if you would like to invest, like SEO, marketing teams, search engine optimization, that's a next step, another level. I think being interactive with people on social media is great. Because like, oh, look at this restaurant, it's my favorite restaurant. They're commenting and they're tagging me, or they're liking my comment under their post, or they're asking me a question. Like, I think that definitely engages a lot of people. I think the best marketing is a satisfied customer, full stomach satisfied customer, right? They're gonna tell their friend, they're gonna come back. So that's probably the best marketing, in my opinion.
So, my brain has been going towards Burger Life's wings now that I have to order. Thank you. Thank you, Farouk, for selling that stuff.
The marketing works.
Li limitations and restrictions. I know that for food truck business, there's a lot of limitations. Go ahead, Brother Sharif. We're going to skip the formal order.
Yeah, obviously what you can do, the menu items, how much food you can carry. At the events we've done, luckily we sold out of briskets and stuff like that. And then, if you sell out an event, there's 2 hours left. I mean, there's only so much you can do. You kind of have to sit around or try to find other things to sell. The timings are a limitation, right? The location is a limitation, right? It's not somewhere that people can go whenever they crave it, right? Yeah, with the food truck, there's a lot of limitations, and I think that's why events are such a big opportunity to keep going. And the other thing is, just given that I'm one of the main people, right? If I can't do something on a weekend or an event, that's a missed opportunity for me, and momentum and all that fun stuff. So,
Brother Farouk.
Yeah, even for restaurants, like what I mentioned earlier, when we first started, we had like pizza, right, in the beginning. So with pizza, we got great feedback. Profit margins are great on pizza. And that's something that I really wanted to do as well. I saw there was a need for it in the market at the time, and I had to make that business decision of saying, hey, like it just doesn't make sense with our kitchen, the setup, as well as the staff. Like if you think about your staff, you don't want them to be running around making, burgers, sandwiches, wings, pizza, like depending on how your setup is in the kitchen, right? So even though it's good money and it has so much potential, sometimes you have to take a step back and see, hey, what's the best advertisements, and then set those limitations.
Brother Bora.
I think accepting like your business's limitations, whatever they're accepting it, right? Like if you're gonna be doing fine dining in our case, like you can't expect to have amazing fast food like a straight up fast food joint. If you're a smaller restaurant and you have food, any type of restaurant business, and you want to make dessert, realizing it's going to be hard. If I want to make dessert, I have to get a pastry chef, I have to get all these items, then maybe outsourcing, getting it from somewhere else. So understanding your limitations, it's okay. Every business has limitations. You have to just learn how to accept it and work around it and use it. And then problems can also be a good thing. Like a problem is not always a bad thing. Like sometimes you're gonna have a problem where you don't have enough chairs or tables in the restaurant. That's a good problem. Or you're not gonna be able to. Your staff is not able to make as many sandwiches that meet that demand at that moment. Your staff won't be able to make as many sandwiches as like the high demand at that moment. That's a good problem. You just have to learn how to solve those problems.
Brother Farouk, next question is, what are the common misconceptions and challenges?
I think this is going to be a big one for everyone. Misconceptions is, I think people think, you know, if they can cook at home or they make a really good lasagna or a really good dish that they can just kind of open a restaurant. It's not that simple at all. Um, Starting a restaurant, it takes a lot, right? And it's not just focus. Most people think, oh, if I just have, 5 or 6 items, I want to keep it simple. We should, these are popular. This is my great grandma's secret recipe. That's not really what a restaurant is, right? Restaurant, you have to, as a brick and mortar store, you have to know how to do kind of everything. You have to know, like I don't know how to cook. I just started teaching myself. I started doing some research. I have a passion for food. But once I got into it, I saw what it takes to actually go through it. There's a lot, especially in the first year when you start a business, you have to sacrifice a lot of time. I've missed out on a lot of events for my family. I've been away for the business. There's a lot of sacrifice that you have to be willing to take in order to make sure that your business succeeds. Um, it's not meant for everyone per se. You have to be very patient. You have to be driven. But that doesn't say that if you have the right partners, you can make it work. As long as you have the right partners and you all have a certain attribute for the business to focus on, hey, this is my strength, and your weakness is something that I can kind of tackle too, right? So you build that proper team, then it's very doable. It's something that I always encourage people to, if they have that passion and they have that drive to make it happen, I tell them, hey, ask me any questions and I'll tell you the mistakes I've made and prevent you from making them. But there are a lot of challenges that you will face throughout it. Like, nothing's going to be like, it's not a clear and bright future. You have to sacrifice a lot. There's been times where, I'm working 12 hours, 14 hours, events, like we had the Naperville Halal Fest, and not only did I have my own stall there, but I was also helping out with all the other vendors there, being part of, the Muslim Chamber of Commerce to make it easy for them as well with all the food vendors. So it's just having that initiative of being able to help out others too, right? There's a lot of people that have that passion and they just don't have the experience, but you being a part of it, being like the experience that you learn, passing it down to others plays a huge impact on other people too.
So we're going to, Brother Bora, what are the misconceptions and challenges?
I think it's not a side hustle. Like this is something you have to do full time. Basically, even make a light lifestyle of yours. Depending on whatever niche your restaurant is in, you should stay updated with all the upcoming trends and everything that's going on, evolutions of different products and trends. Like the Dubai chocolate came out like last month. We have our European bakery, and everyone was asking for Dubai chocolate immediately. Like, you have to be ready. You have to be following it. If you're not in the restaurant business, if you're not eating at other restaurants, if you're not checking other restaurants out, like globally in the area, then you have to just constantly be on this. Like it's not like I can just hire a chef. He's gonna produce my pizzas and I'm gonna make money. It's nothing like that. Like it's something you have to constantly be in.
Brother Sharif?
It's a lot of work, right? And I'm just a food truck. I'm only open, 2 hours a week, right? And it's a lot of work. Like I can only imagine how much work it is for you guys. There's, things like, taking trips, going to Restaurant Depot or wherever. It's not, if I have to go there and grab one thing, it's still time that I spend, right? It's not linear. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be as much work as as it turned out to be. But I think part of you also has to enjoy it, right? I think you have to enjoy the work, the hard, the challenges that come with it. Things will break, things go wrong. You won't have what ingredient you need, but you still got to roll with it and stuff like that. That part of it, although it is challenging, I do think it's I do find it fun. I remember at the ICN event. Remember, Farouk, I couldn't get my generators wouldn't turn on. You remember that? And then I had to ask you. You gave me the wire and stuff like that. And then eventually I had to go and get a battery and come back and stuff like that. And then once we got everything running, we had to get everything running before the fire inspection and everything happened. But once you had everything running, it was awesome. It was really nice. It was great. The event was awesome. The people, they come, they you see the smile on their face and things like that. Those are all kind of part of it. Part of kind of owning a restaurant. Being the part of the whole food scene. And I think you have to enjoy every aspect of that, the good, the bad, everything.
So moving on to the Q&A section. Let's do this. There's a question. I'm not interested in cooking, but good at managing. I want to open up a cafe or have coffee, chai, and bakery items. Any advice for me?
Do you want to work for me?
Mm.
I think all three of them are saying exactly that you can come and work.
We're hiring, but
Send your resume.
I would say, I guess, for not wanting to, I'm not interested in cooking. You're getting into a business that you kind of have to be cooking. You never want to start a business where you rely on your staff either, right? Because let's say hypothetically one day your staff decides to not show up. Do you now just shut down your business for the whole day? Let's say they request, a $2 pay raise. All of them start boycotting you and say, we all need a pay raise. So you don't have the cards on your side of the table, right? You should know exactly what you're getting into. That way, if anything were to happen, you can kind of step in. And honestly, I'm sure every business owner, they want control of their own business, right? Not being able to cook or not wanting to cook is kind of giving that away. So in my personal experience, I would say if you're not interested in cooking, or even part of just making coffee, chai, or any bakery items, then you should look into something that you truly enjoy and focus on that then.
So somebody asked, I already have an idea of what items I want on the menu. Need help navigating starting up the cafe, what licenses? I think they can contact one of you and you guys will be happy to guide them, right? So why did you choose a food truck versus brick or mortar?
We didn't have much of a choice. We didn't have much of a choice. Just the amount of effort required into owning a brick and mortar. For example, some of the rules are, I think it was Plainfield. I'm not sure. I don't know what county that is. Maybe Will County, but you have to be 14 feet away from anything that's flammable. So buildings, trees, everything. So think 14 feet is wide, right? It's a lot of space. And so when you're talking to landlords and stuff like that, you have to tell them this. And then a lot of times the landlords don't even want to deal with that because they say, hey, why am I going to go through all this effort of dealing with you when I could just easily deal with someone else who has, a normal business, right? Like offset smokers aren't really a big thing here in Illinois. So there was that. The other places you have to think, but there's additional costs, right? Like if you have your smokers inside of a building, you need like a firebox for the woods and stuff that you're going to store. You need a really good exhaust system that clears the air, not just inside but outside as well. And so I think just kind of given all the roadblocks we were facing, I think food truck just kind of turned out to be the one thing to kind of get moving at the very least, right? So maybe in a couple of years things will change, rules will change, codes and things will change. But at the moment, that was really the only option we had left.
So Is rent a very important factor?
Rent?
Yeah,
You mean for a brick and mortar?
brick and mortar.
No, for me, it wasn't. I think rent is more or less going to be the same for everyone. It's more the more having the space. Um, yeah, rent wasn't a big factor for me, not at all.
We already covered most of the other questions. Did any one of you find investors?
No, for me, I started the business kind of on my own. And then now for the Dallas location, I have a partner. And the main reason for that is because obviously I can't be at two places at once, right? Chicago is my hometown and I'll be spending most of my time there. So it only made sense to have a partner that's not only invested in money, but also time as well. And that's what will keep the business from, compared to just a silent partner who doesn't have any time into the business or anything.
Right.
That's it.
We are out of time. Lisa, thank you for joining us. Lisa is from Illinois Restaurant Association. Please go ahead and introduce.
Well, I just want to say, congratulations. Having this chamber have a meeting like this is incredible. These resources, thank you, each of you, for sharing your stories, and congratulations. We know it is very difficult having a restaurant in the state of Illinois. It's the second largest private industry within the state. And the Illinois Restaurant Association, if you're not familiar, we do offer free classes, events. We're going to be at Google on the 20th for a tech summit, really outlining everything related to tech. It was mentioned a few times how, it's difficult. You're running a business. You might like to cook, but you're running a business, and there's so many factors involved. At the Illinois Restaurant Association, we're here to help you make it easier, connecting you with the right people you might need to know, offering discounts, and then we're in Springfield and Cook County quite a bit advocating. We're big proponents, working with the tip wage. We work with a lot of the aldermen in the city, the villages, trustees, really throughout the state. Again, making it easier for you to do what you love, which is run your business, meet the people, build those relationships, and ideally grow the way you want to grow. So if I can ever be a resource, I really just wanted to jump in and hear the questions that are being asked. I love this chamber exists, and you're truly here providing support for each other. If I can, dramatic pause, if I can be of assistance at all, please don't hesitate reaching out. If you see any events on our calendar, I'm happy to invite you as my guest. It's illinoisrestaurants.org. We're here for you. Just wanted to, whatever you might need, feel free, let me know.
Thank you, Brother Farooq, Mohammed Sharif, and Bora for doing this. I really appreciate it. The chamber appreciates it. Thank you for being here, Lisa. Thank you everyone for attending. Recording will be available and tomorrow. You all have a wonderful day. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
What was that?